All right, guys. So today we are going to be taking a look at the new Intra-Matic Chronograph H from Hamilton. I actually have three models here today. I have the Panda on leather and mesh, as well as the reverse Panda on mesh. The only one we're missing is the reverse Panda on leather, but it's pretty cool that we have three here today just to get a good idea of what's available. Big thanks to Gem Bijou for lending in the watches. Gem Bijou is an authorized dealer here in my area for Hamilton and many other brands. If you're shopping watches, you can find them at gembijou.com. So let's get right to it and take a look at the watches. Okay, now straight off the bat, I gotta say these things look great. They're based off the Chronograph A and B models of the late 60s, and these just ooze 60s style. If there's an option, I'd usually go Panda over reverse Panda, but I don't know about that with these. I'm having a really hard time deciding which is my favorite between the two. So again, these come in a total of four options, Panda or reverse Panda, and both are available on either leather or mesh. I'd probably opt for the mesh, but the leather is very nice too. The leather is a padded leather, and it's pretty pliable straight out of the box. The hardware is polished and signed Hamilton. Now, although this would eventually migrate to other strap options if it were mine, the mesh looks awesome. It looks awesome and feels very comfortable on wrist too. The clasp, the same as the buckle on the leather, is signed with Hamilton. We've got good, solid hardware here, and it pairs really well with the watch. The only negative I'd say with this and the leather is the lack of quick release spring bars. The one thing I wasn't sure about when I first saw these was the faux patina. I don't mind it on watches, it depends on the watch, but it isn't an automatic deal breaker for me. Sometimes it can throw off the look of a watch, though. Not the case at all with these to me. It's done in quite a subtle way, so it's not in your face and it works well with this style of watch. This version, the reverse Panda, is a matte black with the bi-compact dial layout. At the top is printed Hamilton with the old school logo and mechanical down at 6. So really quite a clean layout, especially with the lack of date on these models. The subdials have a texture with concentric circles. They're an off-white with contrasting markers and hands in black. The Lume is pretty much what I expected. It's no torch by any means and fades fairly fast. It does stay legible for quite a while though, so it's still usable. If this were a diver, it'd be more of an issue, but for this style of watch, it's not really a problem. The Panda with the black subdials and white hands is quite legible. Both watches are for that matter. I'll get the chronograph going here, and the movement running the watch is the H51 manual wind movement. It's based on the Valjoux 7753. It has a power reserve of 60 hours and beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is hidden by the quite plain solid case back. It's too bad because there's something special about a manual wind with no rotor obstructing the view, but unfortunately we can't see it working a way through a display case back with these models. One thing I will say, and it's the same with all three watches I have here, and I've seen it brought up by a number of people now, that is there's a bit of a stutter as the minute totalizer moves. It doesn't seem to be a problem with the particular movement, but I think it's just a trait they all share. It doesn't affect the function of the watch at all, and when you're looking at the watch from a normal distance, it's really not noticeable. The chronograph pushers have a very nice snappy feel to them. We'll just stop and reset. Let's do that one more time. We'll start, stop, and reset. The case on these watches is completely polished. It's got a pretty neat look with how the lugs drop off the way they do. Nice looking side profile. And speaking of side profiles, if we look at the opposite side of the watch, one of my favorite parts of the watch is the oversized screw down crown. With this being manual wind, it's nice to have a crown that's easy to grip and turn, and it's really nice to use. It has a good feeling action, feels good to the touch, and sounds great too. Size on the watch comes in at a case with the right at 40 millimeters. The lug to lug is 49 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters and the thickness is 14.9 millimeters. So quite tall, but that does include the boxed sapphire, and that's really a highlight of the watch. It looks amazing and offers a slight distortion at the very edges of the dial. The crystal is treated with 2 coatings of anti-reflective treatment on the underside, and the watch has a water resistance of 100 meters, which is nice to have for a chronograph like this. So overall, I am impressed. I've tossed around the idea of picking up one of the older Intra-Matics for a while, and these now have me thinking one of the new models might look really good in the watch box. Even with the thickness of almost 15 millimeters, I'm really liking how they wear and they look so good. Cost-wise, these are $20.45 USD on leather and $20.95 US dollars on mesh. So not bad at all. I'm surprised it's actually such a small price difference for the mesh, which is why I would definitely go for the mesh version myself. So that's it, guys. Super cool watches. Thanks again to Gem Bijou for lending these in. Check them out at gembijou.com. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.